This is Vickie with VJ Designs. Thanks for coming back. And I'm doing the last 5 sketches for Kendra's card challenge today. Okay, so we're starting with sketch number 11. And I will show you this sketch. This one. Pretty cute. So we will start with getting my bottom mat down. Hope you are all having a good day. It's kind of early in the morning. Here I woke up pretty early this morning, so after my morning devotions and writing a few notes down for what I need to bring and do for Craft Roulette Live, I decided I better make another video. I'm going to try and have enough videos ahead that will air while I'm gone for 2 weeks. So, okay, here's my second layer. Okay, this is one of my, this one was cut out of the papers. It wanted a mat this size, so that's what this is, and I put a different mat underneath. So then we have this mat. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this one down. It was much, much cooler here yesterday. It was so nice because it's been in the upper 90s and triple digits for 2 or 3 weeks. And so yesterday I only got up to 75. It was great. However, it was very, very smoky yesterday and not good for people anyone that has respiratory problems or anything to be out for any length of time. So there's that. But anyway, my friend and I went to Billings yesterday and had pedicures, and we went shopping, and we had a good time together. And we met another friend in Billings. I think I mentioned this in my last video, but anyway, yeah, it was fun. So, okay, now this one, the instructions were just to glue these little 1 inch by 1/2 inch pieces on here. But in order to keep myself straight, and I think I need to trim this just a tiny bit. It's got some white across the top. I went ahead and glued these on a strip of paper that was 1 inch wide, 2.5 inches long. So I will glue these strips on, one on the top, one on the bottom. That's much easier for me, whichever's easiest for you. But we will go ahead and do that. Get these glued down. And I just did this ahead of time because you know, you guys know how to glue paper down. So now if I can get this on here. why that looks crooked, but you know, it's me, so. That's probably why. I have to have this kind of close to me, so sorry if I'm off camera. So you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there's a little bit of border over here on the side, so I'm going to, and I think this cutter will do better for me than the other, since it's got a little dimension since I glued them on something. So we'll just cut that very edge off. It's still, I just cut that piece wonky, I guess, because it's still 2.5 inches wide. So we'll get this on here, glued down. Besides, with me doing it ahead of time, just kind of makes it put together a little bit quicker. Okay, so there. That's the basic card. And so what I chose to put in the center is this. I had this die cut scallop circle, and then this is one of KCC's. I think it's from a previous digital, but I'm going to put that right in the center like that, and I'm not going to put this up on dimensionals. It's kind of fun to do that once in a while, but you don't have to do it all the time. And plus, if you're not careful, if it gets too high, if you're going to mail it, then it's going to cost you extra money. If you have like one layer of dimensional, it'll go through just fine. But when you get much higher than that, then they want to charge you for more because it won't go through 1/4 inch slot. And if you don't know this little hack, I learned this from somebody said this on one of their videos. If you take your card in the envelope and put it through this, you know, most of your cutters have a 1/4 inch slit in this little flippy thing that you flip up to cut. There's like a 1/4 inch slit in there. So if you can fit it through that, you're okay. So just FYI, in case you didn't know that little trick. It's kind of nice to know. So there is sketch number 11. Very cute. Okay, moving along to number 12. And this is sketch number 12 right here. Pretty cute. Okay, so this is a digital page that was not one of the main pages I cut out, so I had printed a few to make mats and stuff with. This was one of them that coordinated with the colors that I chose. I'm going to put it on here. It's fairly straight. Okay. And then get this mat put down. Because I don't have anything hanging off of it, so to cut off. So we'll get it put down. I should have cut this mat below just a little bit more on one end up here, but it's all right. Okay, now we have these pieces. And start with this, and this. So if we get this first row kind of where it needs to be, then I can tell where I need to put the rest of them. So instead of using this paper here, what I'm doing is using one of Kendra's cutouts, little stamp, and it was the perfect size. This way, I just had to cut a little bit off the bottom to make it fit. And so I'm going to put it in the middle. Because I chose one of her sentiments. It says sweet birthday wishes. And so this makes it have a little more sense. This is kind of a smaller, I wish some of these were a little bit bigger. I think you could probably go in there and make it bigger, but so I think what I want to do is put dimensional in the center. Okay. And then it's a little dot of glue. Then I'll glue the ends down. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Just maybe across the middle like that. I still think like it needs something we could use. Let's see what some little dimensional. Words are hard sometimes. Little sparkle spots. If I can pick them up. And you know, I have to use odd number. So let's do that. Since there's a little dot on there that's kind of bugging me, I'm going to do this. Making sure I have the sparkly side up. This one doesn't. There we go. Turned over on me. There we go. I think we got them all on. Yeah, that fills it in a little bit better. I like that. Okay, that's card number 12. This is sketch 13. Pretty simple. And this did not call for a 4 by 5 1/4 mat, but you know me, I like to put my mats down, so I used this one as the mat. Oops. My card was not opening the right direction, and I would have been a little upset about that. It's all fixable, though, if that happens. I'm sure many of you have done that, too. Okay, so now we're going to put these pieces on and place them so that the mat underneath shows. Okay, so if we get this one on, then we can go ahead and put this down. I like it when there's the big pieces and goes together pretty quickly. My glue's not wanting to come out. I think this is my older bottle, this one. There we go. This piece had some sticky on the back of it already from the mat that I cut it when I cut out the paper. I used more sticky mat, and it was hard to get off. So when I took it off, I didn't use it again. I marked it. I marked the cover of it to use for t-shirts and mugs because it's a little bit too sticky for the paper. All right. Now I've got those two pieces down. So now we have these circles, and I could either have them going this way or sideways. It doesn't really matter. I think I'll have them going this way. Okay, so just go ahead and glue those down. If I hadn't said this before, I love Kendra's bonus printables. They're so fun. She does such a good job on them and gives you lots of cutouts and sentiments, and it's really worth it. I would check her out if you haven't done Kendra's card challenge before. It's worth it to pay the $5 a month to help support her. And she has so many wonderful vendors that help, that give prizes every month for winners. And all you have to do is, if you do these, you just take a picture of all your cards together, load it up on her site where she tells you to load it, and you can be entered for a spin at the end of the month, each month, for prizes. And I won a prize from VJDesigns Designs for $25 gift certificate for last month, and I'm very happy. And I finally went online yesterday and spent my gift certificate, so that was fun. So yeah, it's a real thing. So on this sketch, she has, you know, put a sentiment down here, but what I did was I have this, can't remember who this was from, this little cutout here, but I'm going to put it across like this. Okay, so let's get these up on dimensionals. These particular dimensionals, if you've watched me at all, I have shared this. I get these at the Dollar Tree, and they carry them in their automotive section of all places. They have dimensionals in their crafting section, but they're not the same. And I really like these. I like the size. They're all, you know, they come in a roll. I can get it off my finger like this. It's 6 feet for $1.25 or whatever they charge for them now. It's not, they need to change the name of the store because nothing's $1 anymore, but nothing stays the same, right? Things just keep changing. Sometimes not for the better, but okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this across here. Make sure that's straight. Yeah, I think that looks better. Whoops. Happy goes first. You were probably looking at me earlier, hollering, no, put the happy on top. Yeah, okay. It's still early in the morning and I've only had 1 cup of coffee, so that's my excuse. And I'm sticking with it. Okay, there we go. There, that's better. Very cute. You could put more bling on here, but I don't think I'm going to. At least not right now. So that is sketch number 13. Only 2 more to go. So if you've been doing this, I hope you've been enjoying it. I sure do. I just love her sketches. And like I said before, I usually stick pretty close to her sketches because they're just so cute. And, you know, but you can make them your own. And if you do load them up onto her site, she just wants to be able to tell that that is the sketch you're doing. But you can switch it up. So this, I'll show you the sketch. This is it right here. Very simple. And so she just put this kind of wonky on the page like this, which you know me, I like wonky. So this works for me. And if you don't like wonky, you can put it on there straight. it's, you know, it's your card. And so I can't imagine trying to come up with, you know, 15 different sketches every 3 months. But she does. Okay, so here's my next layer I'm using. Okay, and then we have this. We have this on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these on. Make sure I left myself enough room. No, it's on, so that's okay. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, now I'll go ahead and glue this panel down. And I'm just going to glue it down. Okay, and then what I chose is, this is one of her cutouts. And this little guy is too, so I went ahead and colored him in with colored pencil. My colored pencils that I have, the red isn't really that red, so I'm a little disappointed in that, but it's all right. It's still cute. So in order to get him to, you know, stand out, I'm putting him on this little cutout here so he doesn't blend in too much with that the checkered background. So I think that's really cute. Still not sure what these are supposed to be, but they're sure cute. I think I'll put this one on dimensionals too, just help make him stand out a little bit. I think I only need a couple on here. Okay, so we'll get him on there. Just like that. And then I have this little, I cut this out. I think this is like an 1.5 inch, yeah, 1.5 inch circle punch. So I'm just going to glue this one on. Just like it is up here because there's a black background. So, and there's that one. Very cute. I love it. That's number 14. Okay, one more to go. And we're just a little over, just about a half hour. So, not doing too bad. Okay, so this one, and I just saved these cellophane bags, put the number back in, and I save them for next time, so I'm not having to redo it all the time. Okay, so this one, a little more complicated, but So I've got it facing the right direction. Okay. I'm going to put before I do that, I want to get these pieces down. You know what I forgot to do? So, and I forgot to show you the sketch, is this one. What I forgot to do is cut this mat out right here, this piece. So this is 2 3/4 by 5 inches. Because this goes in the middle. This strip goes down next, right next to it. So this goes on like that. Sorry, I'm out of screen. Okay, so this piece goes on. Then next, I'm so sorry, I forgot to have that. I forgot to have that piece cut out. Okay, so there we go. So now there's the base of the card. So then what we do, we've got these pieces here that we need to glue across this piece. She says to glue strips to a 2.5 by 1.5 scrap piece and cut at a diagonal from bottom left to top right. So we'll get these pieces on here. And again, it doesn't really matter, except you want your first and last piece. There's 2 of those. So I'm going to separate the grays. I've tried to separate the grays when I can. So I'll put this one on next. Okay, and then this one. And then this one. Our last piece. Okay. So I'm going to cut one edge off of this teeny bit again because I think I got them on there a little wonky. ever so slightly, but okay, so this is our piece here. So then what we want to do is cut it diagonal from here to here. So I'm just putting it in my slicer. And you hold it down tight so it doesn't move on you. Okay, now I've got this piece, which is 2.5 by 3 3/4. That's going to go here. It's going to go over it like this. And then this gets glued on here like this. See, it was cut in 2. And so this one goes down here on the bottom, like that. Very clever. And then I have this other piece that's going to go in the middle. So let me get these glued down. Yeah, it's much easier if you glue these to a piece and do it this way than trying to glue them individually. That just doesn't work for me. So I'm glad she had us do it this way. And this piece goes this way on the bottom. You know, and you know, I like to do journals too. I love making journals, and I'm gonna start using some of Kenna's sketches in my journals. I got that idea from somebody, I think Biddy Penny, and I think it's a great idea. And I've done it sort of a couple times. So let's get this mat down now. Double check I've got it opening on the right side. Okay, and then go ahead and glue this down. I'm supposed to have another mat under here. Oh boy. Okay, that's better. So this gets glued down on that mat. Okay, then we'll glue that down. That looks a lot better. It makes it stand out. It didn't look right to me, and I got to looking at the sketch again, and I had another mat, so gotta pay attention to that stuff. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm using this as the sentiment. So, again, it's a cutout or a die cut scallop circle. And then I used my 2-inch punch. This is a 2 1/4 inch or 2.5 inch scallop and a 2-inch punch. And it works perfectly. And I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. Okay. And we're just about done. Sorry, I'm off screen, but I'm just putting on these dimensionals, okay? So that would just go in the middle like this. Okay. Just like that. Half pearls over here. You just need 3 of them. Make sure these are black. I've got some purple mixed in with these, so okay, there's 3. So we'll do dot, dot, dot. And I think this will finish it off perfectly. Okay, there is card sketch number 15. Let me know what you think. I think these are so fun. So go ahead and check out Kendra, the card challenge. If you have not done it, it's so fun. Even if you don't want to, you know, go to the trouble of taking a picture and loading them up and getting entered for a prize, they're just great sketches to use for what it, you know, have on hand. So there we go. These were 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I think I might have mixed them up, so I'm not sure. But there you go. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for hanging out and spending time. And please press that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to see you again. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.